Well, baseball season may be underway, and we're right in the middle of the NFL draft, but it's always time to talk a little basketball. Former UC assistant coach Steve Moeller and UC legend, and the only man to ever win a college basketball, an NBA, and an ABA title, Tom Thacker's in the house to talk some Hall of Fame. And I'll start with you first, Steve. The Greater Cincinnati Basketball Hall of Fame is going to have its induction ceremony May the 4th in Fairfield. A couple of UC products going in, Kenyon Martin, Danny Fortson, but they're not the only ones going in.
Well, Danny Fortson will be in the house. Danny was inducted a couple of years ago, along with Ralph Lee and Dexter Skywalker Bailey from Xavier, and Erica Hallman,
who was Miss Basketball from Holmes High School and played at Kansas, was a great player, yeah.
Lois Warburg from Northern Kentucky, and Bruce Howland, Mike Ensminger, and Jake Grunkemeyer, the legendary high school coach on the Ohio side. So those guys and ladies are going to be inducted Wednesday night. That's at receptions, and that's on Boymel Drive in Fairfield, and that'll be our banquet. We'll pick and honor coaches of the year, players of the year, both male and female, on the Kentucky and the Ohio side.
Yeah, and you're giving some scholarship money along with that,
yes,
correct?
Don Hughes, the legendary president, former president of Greater Cincinnati Basketball Hall of Fame, his family and the Hall of Fame going to give out 4 $500 awards to 2 young ladies and 2 young men on the Ohio and Kentucky side of the river in Don's honor, and that'll be an ongoing thing that we do each year.
Very nice. Tom, for you, it's a big May because you're going to get inducted into a Hall of Fame in May, and actually a big summer, I should say, a Hall of Fame in May and a Hall of Fame in July. The May one in Ohio, the July one in the Kentucky Hall of Fame. Let's start with the Ohio one. Obviously, that's because you played at the University of Cincinnati. The Kentucky one, for those who may not know, you went to high school at now closed U.S. Grant High School down in Covington. It closed in the 1960s, so you're going into both of those. That's going to be quite an honor in one summer to go into 2.
That's great. They finally paid attention to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the honor is first of all in Ohio Hall of Fame, and at that particular Hall of Fame. Matter of fact, Bob Huggins' father's going into Charlie Huggins, and Al Bianchi, and a couple other familiar names you probably read about. But it's going to be like the 21st of May. And in July, which is the Kentucky Hall of Fame, that's a brand new Hall of Fame they're erecting right now. They make the museum down in E-Town, Elizabethtown it is, maybe about 35 miles south of Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be on the 9th of July. And in that Hall of Fame, I think about 13 members are going into, coaches and players. And that's going to be like I think within 2018, they're going to have 100 inductees in it. That'd be the centennial. And it's due to open in 2018.
Wait, is there one that's a bigger honor to go in the Ohio or the Kentucky, or is it just both?
I'm a Kentuckian.
Okay, all right.
I'm a true Kentuckian, you know.
Well, it is interesting. And back when you played, obviously, there was not segregated basketball in the South primarily. So I'm guessing you didn't have a lot of choices in the South to go play college basketball. And Kentucky was not one of them at that time. So you ended up going to UC.
Yeah, nowhere in the what's Mason-Dixon line, which I draw from Kentucky on down. Either old Howland down, whichever choice you want to take. But anyhow, in Kentucky, I remember when I was in high school playing a high school all-star game in Pikesville College down in Pikesville, Kentucky. Adolph Ruff came to me and said, "Thacker, you know what? I wish you could take you in some, but there's some like color boys down south." I said, "Well, with Kentucky and South too, But anyhow, I would have probably gone to Kentucky if I'd had a chance to go to Kentucky, and I think I'm glad I made a good choice.
I was just saying, it didn't work out. It didn't work out too bad going to UC for both you and for the program as well.
I was just going to say, all the people on the Ohio side of the river are so glad that worked out the way it did. What a great team.
Yeah.
Teams that you played on. Wow, 61
and 62 title teams, and then narrowly lost in 63 to Loyola.
I just said I was lucky. Sometimes, Steve, you better be lucky if you had good teammates. You know, it's like when I went to the Celtics in '68. I just had some good teammates. Bill Russell, Havlicek, and all the guys, and went to Indiana Pacers. I had some good teammates: Roger Brown, Mel Daniels, and Netta Lucky. So I'm always in the right team at the right time, you know.
Well, you were a big part, obviously, of the UC championship run, though. You were second leading scorer a couple of years, leading assist guy a couple of years as well. you win the 2 titles and have a chance to win that third. Loyola comes back and gets you late. How hard was that?
Richard, don't bring the headache up, Richard. I got a migraine from that, man. Well, you know, those are the thing I remember. You remember losses because you sit up at night and dream about what could I have done right to really win that championship. But you know, there's a lot of little small stuff. You know.
You talked about the 2 professional teams. You played on the '68 Celtics.
Right.
Bill Russell was the coach as well, correct?
Right.
Coach and player.
Coach and player, right? Correctly.
And then obviously with the Pacers. You do mention it is strange. Do you have all those rings somewhere between the NBA, the ABA, and the NCAA ones? And do you wear one more proudly than the other?
And there was another championship that you never talked about. It was a Continental League.
That's right.
Up in Muskegon, Michigan. And happened to be at the right time, with the right teammates. And we won that championship also up there.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Steve, back to the Hall of Fame, the Greater Cincinnati Hall of Fame. Talk about your involvement in it and tell people how maybe they can get involved if they want to be a part of the Hall of Fame, because it's starting to grow a little bit.
Sure, it's growing a lot. And I'm the current president of the Greater Cincinnati Basketball Hall of Fame. If they'd like to come out to the banquet on May the 4th at receptions, it's $50 a plate and cocktails hour 5:30 to 6:30, dinner at 6:30, and then the program's going to be emceed by John Popovich, and the featured speaker is going to be Dave Lauer from Athletes in Action. What a great speaker to speak to the kids, in that venue. So we're really looking forward to that. And if people want to get involved, and Tom's involved with this a lot. George Wilson's also on our board, as is Ted Price. Ted Price, who played at Texas, his son Mike Price from Oak Hills. Ted's on the board, and we're planning free clinics for kids on both the Kentucky and Ohio side of the river to come up in the fall. And so people that would like to get involved with us, they can contact me or any of the board members. And just a great organization, giving back to the community and using people like Tom and George Wilson. And wanted to mention too, George Wilson just got back from a reunion of all the Olympians in Las Vegas the end of February. What a fantastic gathering that had to have been.
On the 60 team?
No, well, all Olympians.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Pretty impressive. Mo, I appreciate you stopping in. Tom, thanks so much. Congratulations to you. I mean, that's pretty impressive. 2 Hall of Fames in one summer.
Richard, I would like to say, Steve didn't really give the proper to the Greater Cincinnati Hall of Fame, but this organization done great for the kids, local kids in this whole area. And anybody out in the listening audience need to get their kids involved at skill training. Please contact Greater Cincinnati Hall of Fame, because we'd be more than willing to come to their school, to a venue, to put on the show for them.
Well, we would both be remiss if we didn't mention too that the Hall of Fame was founded by the late and great George Spencer. And George's involvement with the Hall of Fame has just been legendary.
Yeah, he's the one that got it off the ground.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
Question. No question. We'll have more information on all that stuff at local12.com, so check us out right there.